What's happening, you beautiful people? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be. I am back on the water. We planned on going to Grapevine Lake today, but somehow ended up on Louisville Lake. Just kind of a mix up on directions. I say we because I am with, of course, the one and only Lucky Dog, and I'm with Big Bite Adventures today.
What up?
Where did you find those? Oh no. Did you just ice yourself? Spencer has been so kind to take me fishing up in his territory these past few weeks, so I figured I'd invite him down to Texas and we do some fishing, some warm water fishing. How cold is it in Minnesota right now?
I left this morning in my truck on the temperature read 9 below, but tomorrow the wind chill they're talking is like 50 below, so
50.
Wicked.
That is negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit. This is kind of a getaway trip for him, and it's also nice because I now have someone to link up with and fish. And now we are going to put the slow in the water, see if we can find some Lake Louisville giants. Just kind of have fun with it. Stick with and stay tuned. Dang it. Come on, baby. Yeah. How good it feels to be back on the slow. It has been just a moment. You may be able to notice that, well, we don't have a graph. Having some graph issues, so it's gonna be especially challenging to fish on a lake that I've probably fished maybe 3 or 4 times and do it without any sort of electronics. The water temp is, well, let's find out what the water temp is. We got a steep rock wall here that's probably just loaded with a whole lot of nothing. It's about a 14-foot drop here, so we're gonna give her a fat dangle. No, it's fine. What do we got here? Fishing line? Probably some fishing line. Second cast, I'm hung up. Welcome back to another John B. Fishes Texas video. Okay, I'm gonna try to do some Carolina rigging. It's a tactic I pretty much, well, I rarely ever fish. It does work pretty good in cold water situations. It's slow, it's tedious. And on that, I've got the Guggenbaits trench hog. Does them dirty. I caught a lot of nice fish in Texas, or not Texas, Mexico with that thing. We're gonna see if we can duplicate that pattern in Texas. Nice little road bed here. I don't know that because of my graph, but I can just tell because of the, well, there's a road and you can see the, anyway, it looks good. So we're gonna throw a Carolina rig. What do you say, folks? Just a little quickie update for you guys. We're at the dam here in Louisville. I'm throwing a 6XD with, you guessed it, little to no results. It's one of those situations where at this point, it's just gotta be me. It's gotta be a me situation. I know the fishing in Texas isn't great, and this may or may not be my 4th day in Texas without a single bite. I'm not kidding, like without a single bite, but I'm also realizing that it's just apparent that I'm not very used to fishing up here in the wintertime. I also think fishing up here is pretty tough in the wintertime, and I'm sure, cue the plethora of comments of you Texans telling me I'm fishing wrong, which I'm totally okay with. I want to learn how to fish. I really want to learn how to fish down here when the weather gets cold. And the water temp, I'm guessing, is probably in the high 40s, especially with the cold front, could be in the 47, 46 range. So I'm a little bit in the dark, but I'm trying. That's just it. Like, I really want to try and figure these lakes out. This is my 4th lake I've been to in the past 4 days, and not a bite. At the very least, Spencer and I are out here enjoying the fresh air. 6XD's on a rock. Let's see if I can get it off a rock. Well, I think I can hear it. Fat lady singing on Louisville. That's day number 4, folks. Day number 4 without a fish. And you're probably thinking, well, we haven't seen 4 videos with you not catching any fish. Well, that's because I didn't post them. I'm a little bit down to the dumps. But today we have a lot more to do than just to fish. This is just the beginning of the video. We've got to figure out this whole graph issue. We're graphless, and we're gonna have to fish some lakes that we've never fished before. Kind of need a graph when you're fishing new water. Also, in a few days, we're gonna link up with my good buddy, Bryce Bozeman, who's introduced me to some amazing fishing around here in Texas, and he might lead us on a nice little striper mission, which should be fun. But this boat's gotta get all locked and loaded before we hit the road tomorrow and just get real bassy with it. Lucky's coming with us too. That is decent. You guys, it freaking happened. The rigged beer is finally available. This is something I've kind of been keeping a secret for you guys because I just don't know how to announce it. It's a hazelnut coffee oatmeal brown ale. So technically it's a brown ale, but it's all of that combined. Get this, here's the real kicker. It is brewed with free-range tree line coffee. The head brewer over there, Jake, took actual coffee beans, like whole coffee beans from the tree line brew, ground it up and put it in the beer and made this delicious fishing beer of Champions. So it's a celebratory beer that's perfect for this time of year. That's exactly why we put a little Walter on the front. This is probably the most primo, traditional wintertime fish. And the whole can and the beer itself, it just comes together. Like the Walter embodies that like brown ale northern taste. I don't know how to explain it, but if you guys get a chance to try it, let me know what you think. Right now, I think it's only available in some select liquor stores around the Lake Zurich area. Also, you can get it at Lake Zurich Brewing Company. I'll leave the address linked in the description below. They've got it on tap, and of course, they've got it in the 16-ounce cans. On a side note, if you guys have like a brewery or pub down here or a restaurant and you want to carry rigged beer, let me know. My email is right here. I'll also leave Lake Zurich Brewing Company's email right here. We're just trying to figure out how to get this stuff down in the Southern Hemisphere because this is good stuff. Enough beer talk. I'm gonna slug this slow but steadily, and we're gonna get to work on the boat. We've got a long night ahead of us. Go in. Is this aluminum? What is this? Plywood?
Just a little piece of aluminum.
Okay, I'm gonna hold this up right here.
Yeah, I just need to get, oh, you know, well, no.
Bit of a PM dilemma right now. So the dilemma that we're faced with right now is kind of some graph issue. This right here is my Humminbird Solix 12. I purchased this graph when I purchased the boat. It didn't come with the boat. I heard some decent things about this Solix. It's a touchscreen, very high tech. It looks great. It's a 12-inch screen. How could you not, right? Well, honestly liked this graph a lot in the beginning. Side scan was beautiful. Mapping was really nice, super easy to use, but over a decent amount of time, I realized it was kind of just slowing down on me, and eventually it just wouldn't turn on. This thing isn't working, so we went and picked up a smaller graph, a Lowrance, and we are working to install that right now. And by we, I mainly mean Spencer. We're switching out the batteries that came with the boat. I've got 2 new batteries, which hopefully will facilitate the extra power that's gonna go to the new graph, not this graph, and the motor and so on and so forth.
Well, if you guys wonder why...
Hey, what's that? Is that on?
We're doing this right now.
Wait, I was just talking smack about the Humminbird. Well, how is it on?
It's due to a fuse.
This is my fault. I'm an idiot.
We were gonna install a brand new Lowrance unit, and like nothing against Humminbird or Lowrance, whatever, but check your fuses. Pretty simple deal.
But like check your fuses before you dissect your entire boat.
We also weren't really sold on the Humminbird either. Like we kind of wanted Lowrance.
Yeah.
But
is this a Lowrance commercial or what? Here's the other reason why I don't love this thing. We've been talking, and look it.
Still loading.
Confirm. I'm an idiot. Yes. That's basically what it's asking me. I don't know. Did you even mention that? It was a fuse problem.
We've been through this fuse issue before.
I don't know if you guys remember it, but in a video that I posted prior in Ontario, I blew a fuse on my Garmin unit. Now I blew another fuse on my... Is it that common?
I think I'm the fuse guy.
Okay, it could have been a lot worse, to the point where we could have ripped the transducer off, been putting a whole other transducer onto the boat. But at the very least, we figured it out that it was a fuse issue this early on. I don't even want to say early on because the boat is, well, it's half dissected, so. Regardless of the graph issue, we did need, I did, this isn't your boat, right?
So what we could do though is what I'm saying is we could take the better of the 2 batteries.
Oh, she's on. I'm gonna go pour myself another glass of Tito's or rigged beer or something. This is just a hectic mess.
I want to see how this works tomorrow though.
Look at these screws! Just replaced fresh battery in the back. This supplies all the power to the Minn Kota up front. Last battery to go is this guy right here.
For all you folks at home, I'm gonna give you a little tip.
Ooh, more tips. I love a good Spence tip.
Tip out there, put your tongue on the positive and put your other hand on the negative.
Is that before or after you try to install a Lowrance unit that doesn't need to be installed?
Before.
That's before. Okay, thanks. Yeah. You guys are already well aware of how dusty the Slow is, but if this doesn't confirm how dusty it actually is, this is the last time the battery was changed. That date right there, I'll zoom in. I'm filming in 4K right now, so I'll just zoom in right there. April 2nd, 2013. And here I am running this boat 6 years later with a 60-year-old, running this boat with a 6-year-old Super Start battery. Talking all the smack, but damn, she still cooks. Boat always starts, it never doesn't start. 2 new blues. And another new blue. We're finishing all this up. Huge shout out to Spencer for helping me out here. I've got 3 crankbait rods tomorrow that I might eliminate one with. I got a deep crank rod. I might not bring that, but I think the game plan is going to be a lot of this right here. And then maybe even some of... Where is it? I know you're in there. Oh, there it is. Lipless crankbait. Funny thing is both of these lures right here are available on shopcarls.com. I'm thinking this is gonna be the bread and butter tomorrow. A lot of hard bait, a lot of chatterbait action. If you guys want to get this stuff, linked in the description below. I really, really want to get on a good moving bait bite. It has been a minute since I've thrown reaction and caught some good fish. Well, that is gonna do her for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm hoping that tomorrow is the day that we pull through and catch some hot water discharge fish. I've got good feelings, but anyway, I'll catch you guys in the morning. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, folks, keep fishing, never stop. There's one. Come on. That was quick. Good one. Good one. Get that net. That's a good fish. You got to be kidding me, dude.